One of her things was like hypergamy. Let's skip to the hypergamy chart because she actually has a tweet about it that you retweeted recently. So you say hypergamy is men's fault, correct?
Yeah.
Pull up her tweet first, and then we'll go to our chart.
Bringing up my tweets. Great.
Are you like a plant feminist?
I'm a feminist.
Like a plant?
Her
I
tweet.
think men and women should be equal.
I just don't think you
It's
do.
like a,
Everything you say
Well,
doesn't
hang
go
on,
with
for
that.
the,
Okay.
for the first month
You
of
think
dating.
other tweet.
women
Not
should
the
be
first
treated
month,
with
the first
respect.
date.
I don't
I
think
think
you
the
want
men
them to
should
be
make the first
equal.
this one. Can you zoom
No,
it out?
we already
Call
went
me
through that. We
insecure
already
for
went
that,
through all
whatever.
that. You already
Put us
went
on the
through
other
all
side.
that.
But if he's really
Other
attractive,
side.
I'll make the first move. I've done it before.
Cap.
I don't care.
So
Cap,
you
and I've done it
retweeted this.
before.
You retweeted this. This image has broken the psyches of hundreds of thousands of 18 to 24-year-old men
Yes.
who do not touch grass. Scroll down, scroll out, or actually that's fine right there. So this is, Nick, and show us the hypergamy chart now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is typically the way this is more easily, make us smaller, please. This is typically how this infographic is presented, not the weird cube one or block one or whatever. So on the left you have whom men would happily partner with, and on the right you have whom women would happily partner with. Well, I mean, this is actually, you say, I mean, you retweeted that tweet, so I assume you agree with it.
I agree.
I mean, this
exists.
is actually a phenomenon.
Yeah, I agree. It exists. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I just think that men would rather, especially respectfully on podcasts like these, they would rather blame the women instead of looking internally and saying, okay, what can we do to improve? Because a lot of, and I'm not saying,
But that is female hypergamy.
What do you mean?
Well, women don't just tend to accept men as they are. Men have to level up in various
women
ways.
Don't you
also
think if
do.
you're supposed
Like,
to be fit to lead a
if
home, you should
women-
have you should be a very strong,
Right, but
intelligent, educated man,
Don't
and
you
there's a
think
lot
that-
of not those.
Would you
and
not
so-
be
Don't you
frustrated
think
if
you're
women
fit
had
to not be a nagging wife, right? That one of the things that you'd bring to the table.
Well, it
is
seems
some-
like men will
Wait,
just
let
go
him
for
finish.
anything, though.
Let him
some-
finish.
maybe something you bring to the table would be humbleness, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the ability to back off a little bit on criticisms, things like this.
Jesus Christ was a humble servant to
Yeah.
his
So
church.
one
to
of the
serve your husband.
Yeah, so one of the things that I look at when I see a chart like that, so it's showing the top three if you pull the chart back up. On the right, you say hypergamy is real and it's correct. It's men's fault because they're not dressing as nice, they're not, doing their hair up as good, they're not going to the
multitude of
gym
issues.
as much.
They don't work on themselves. They'd rather just blame it all on women. So it's all a women problem.
Right.
And while there are no doubt women who definitely do contribute to hypergamy, I don't think that if men as a whole actually worked on themselves.
Wait, I actually think men are more involved in self-improvement than women are, because men get beat down constantly. A man can't just sit there and be delusional. I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. He's going to have life slap him in the fucking face. I would actually argue you have a society that's, that's against like the fat shaming shit. Oh, you're
That's
beautiful
not-
at any size. Actually, I would argue
That's
that
not
women
self-improvement.
who make poor choices and who refuse to self-improve, they get coddled, whereas men get slapped in the fucking face if they're just going to be fat slobs.
I would agree with you on that, yeah. I agree with you on that, but I don't necessarily think that men as a whole are doing the best they can to attract women.
Who's more likely to be focused on their physical fitness, men or women?
That's I think right now it's men, but I think women, honestly, we have a lower sex drive, and therefore I think it's more important for the
That
man
is
to be more attractive.
Not true. That women have a lower sex drive.
Okay,
That's
well.
a myth.
Is it
Wait,
a myth?
I might disagree with you on
Yeah,
that.
I
I've
think
seen.
That's true.
No, it's not. It's not true that women have a lower sex drive.
What?
It's true. So
Well, what about the testosterone?
But
Yeah,
why
the-
do
the testosterone thing is interesting, right? It's an argument that I used to make, right? So people always ask, "Can you change your mind?" Yeah, I can change my mind. I used to make the same argument that take a look at testosterone. Well, that's true, but women, they require less testosterone. They still have testosterone,
Yeah, but-
and they just require less of it. And when their balance of testosterone is where it needs to be, yeah, they're just like men. When in that regard, they just require less of it. So it's an interesting phenomenon, but the more that they're looking at it, the more they think, it's not nearly as lopsided as we thought.
So it's possible that my perspective on this might be a little bit warped because I come from a Jewish community where it's like, girls are not supposed to be sexual.
Not the
or
highest
anything.
testosterone community, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, especially among the females,
Isn't that good
right?
if you're
Women
not
aren't
married?
supposed to be like partaking in that sort of stuff. So that might frame my viewpoint.
Well,
a
not
little
just
bit.
that. It might not just be that, but it could be your hormones too. Like, have
Fair
you
enough.
taken birth control?
I did. I didn't like it.
Yeah, so I mean that throws women's hormones off constantly, messes them all up, messes their sex drive all up.
Yeah, but before and then after it's the same, right?
No,
I'm speaking from personal experience for me.
No, well,
Like
okay.
before
you
I-
mean
I
before you
had
took
it,
it?
yeah,
It's the
and then
same
after,
thing?
and then I got
yeah,
rid of
yeah.
it. It
I'm
was
just
all the
saying.
same.
Just saying there. It could be chemicals. Could be all
Right.
kinds of different things.
I-
but
I-
your experience definitely seems to be an exception to what we usually hear on here.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that if men as a whole did put more energy into their looks, I want to pull up my Twitter just to show you. But there's one video of a guy who went to go get a haircut. His hair was just like, I don't know, he just looked like a random average dude. And then after the haircut was done, he looked like a 10 out of 10. And like, it's really just as simple as like putting some energy in, find the haircut that works for your face, find a fashion style that you like and makes you, like, flatters your features. Go out looking like you actually intentionally tried, because that's what women do, and that's why we're attractive. Because we
agree with
actually
you.
put effort into
Yeah,
our
but I
looks.
mean,
I totally agree with you.
If you look at the effort on the other side, it sure seems like they're putting in a lot of effort. Putting in a lot of effort to make more money.
That's
putting
what
in a
I'm
lot-
saying.
And
That's what I
putting
was
in,
telling you
putting,
before.
Putting in a lot of effort to get better cars, get better clothes,
in
go
the
to the
wrong
gym.
direction.
It's crazy.
So I think them wanting to
I mean, you
obviously.
got guys right now. You got an entire industry, these pickup artist crazies, right? And they are selling men hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of courses so that they can learn how to do all that shit you just talked about.
Yeah, and meanwhile, if they literally just invested 20 minutes into their looks like every day, it would.
Yeah,
they
but I
wouldn't
mean,
do
you have
that.
to have some kind of guide for that, right? So that's how they're
Yeah,
able to
so
make.
that's what
how
I
they're
think
able to
should
make that
be-
kind of cash.
I
But I
think-
mean, men are investing tons into this kind of stuff.
What do you- tons as in,
I would
like,
rather have
tons
my
into what
man
kind of
Tons
stuff?
of
focus
money,
on.
tons of
Specific?
time, and tons of effort.
Into fashion.
Not just
Sorry,
fashion,
what were you
but
saying?
working out, right? Working out, self-improvement. That's a huge thing in society right now for young men. Self-improvement.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
but
I
that's
think it's
not the same.
misrepresented to them. I think what they view as self-improvement is not necessarily. And same for women, by the way. I'm gonna apply it to both sides. I think a lot of people on both sides put their energy in the wrong place and call it self-improvement when it's not.
Yeah, but I don't understand, because the things that you say are the place to put it in,
Well,
that's where they're putting it.
having a job to sustain yourself isn't something you should be doing for women. That's something everybody should just be doing in general, right? So that's not something someone should pat
No, I'm
you
not
on the
talking about a
back
job,
for.
but you're saying.
But you're saying, like-
the self-improvement of looks. But it's called
Yes.
looks maxing, and it's a big deal. That's a huge part of self-improvement for
now
men.
it's becoming more of a big deal. I think that's a good
It
thing.
has been for
It doesn't even have to
years.
just be
No.
looks maxing. It's just grooming in general. Like a lot of men.
But
just
that's
don't
looks maxing,
fucking-
right?
Not really. That's like
How's it not?
like I'm talking about like hygiene and stuff
Looks
like that.
maxing.
That's
I think
looks
just like
maxing.
improving
That's
your
everything.
But I don't
That's
think we want to go to that other. There's
improving
another
physical. I'm talking
extreme
about
for this.
hygiene, though.
Yeah, but there's another
there's-
extreme. You swing the pendulum the other way, and we have these soy boys who are waxing their eyebrows and wearing makeup, and that's nasty. I'd rather my men focus on making the money so that I can stay home with our children and
but the
maintaining their
most-
physical bodies so that they can be my protector and provider. So like the whole look
That's
thing,
not
I feel like
The
is
most
so
attractive men in
dismissive.
Hollywood-
Just,
Hold
oh,
on,
girl,
he's
you.
been talking the whole podcast.
I'm done.
Jeez.
No, it just keeps
Lord.
going. Never end.
I wonder if this is a problem in relationships for you.
I know. You just
Tell me about
talk. Like they
Babe,
talk about that
babe, I just
having a
wanna
nagging
watch
wife.
Breaking
Literally
Bad.
that right now.
I just want to watch Breaking Bad. Can you kindly zip it? Okay.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
No. Okay.
I didn't mean to
Comments
cut
I
you
just
off.
saw.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it.
Relatable.
Wait, I have a question for you. You say the guys, they have to like make themselves look better, but like not average. Like, would you date an average guy?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
What
Depends
do you
if
mean,
he's nice
maybe?
to me. If he
Let's
tries.
say
if
he's
he has
nice
a
to
good
you.
personality and he's charming, yeah.
Let's
for
say
sure.
he's got an averagely nice personality and he's pleasant.
Okay, if you're all average all across the board, probably not. No, you need something to stand out. If you're gonna
Why?
be average on look, why? Because who wants to date like?
Aren't you average?
I guess everybody's average, but when you're trying to present yourself to somebody, you don't really want to be
But
average.
you know what? You've actually just made the case for female hypergamy. You're, in my estimation, you strike me as a fairly average woman. I'm not saying that to be insulting.
That's
Yet you need a guy to set himself apart, to be more than just average.
I don't. I just
You
need
just
him
said
to
it.
put a little
You just
effort
said
into
it.
his looks because no guy does that. If you're
Plenty
putting
of
effort
men-
into your looks, you're already above average
Bro,
for a guy.
first off, I would actually argue.
No.
I would actually argue. Hold on. That.
Comments, please.
Hold on, we'll get to it. I would actually argue when it comes to physical appearance, women have far more rigid standards when it comes to body types they want in men.
I'd probably agree with you.
So
That's fair.